Italy has long been considered a must-see by both tourists and travel professionals, making it a must-see on almost everyone's list of countries to visit. It is reasonable to say that Italy's offers are unparalleled. The nation is well known for its delicious cuisine, many historical landmarks, renowned works of art, attractive little villages, and picture-perfect cities, countryside, and beaches. In order to assist you to select where to go while in Italy, Infodesk has compiled a list of the top tourist destinations in the country based on a variety of criteria, including cost, the best time of year to visit, most popular attractions, and crowd level. Favorite Italian vacation spot? Rome. The legendary origins of the city of Rome on 7 hills are well known. It is no surprise that Rome is at the top of most visitors' itineraries when visiting Italy, given its status as one of Europe's liveliest cities and its status as the former capital of most of ancient Europe. Historic landmarks including the Colosseum, Forum, Pantheon, Appian Way, and Palatine Hill compete with the Vatican's extensive collections for tourists' attention. Traverse the winding alleyways of Trastevere, have a morning coffee in one of the city's many cafes, people watch along the chic Via Veneto, and drop a penny into the Trevi fountain to ensure your return. There will need to be many visits to see everything. Venice. Who wouldn't like a city where the roads are canals, the buses are boats, and gondoliers' melodies float on the breeze? The city itself is a key draw for visitors since it is a magical place. St. Mark's Square, or Piazza San Marco, is the city's central square and home to many of the city's most popular sites. There is the lofty Campanile, which provides a view of the magnificent Basilica of St. Mark and the Doge's Palace. Gondola rides are among the most romantic activities in all of Italy. At the further end of the plaza, on the Grand Canal, gondolas gather. To go to Rialto Bridge from the other direction, you'll need to enter a gate under the clock tower and become lost in a maze of tiny streets and alleys. Still, being lost is a wonderful way to see the city of Venice, where every turn brings a new picture postcard view. Florence. Florence, Italy, is the epicenter of the Italian Renaissance and sometimes seems like one huge art gallery. A gigantic dome that defies the laws of gravity crowns the Duomo, also known as the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, making it a famous example of Renaissance architecture. The octagonal baptistry with its unparalleled bronze doors by Ghiberti and the marble-inlaid bell tower by Giotto form one of the best Renaissance art ensembles in the world. At least 6 art museums house priceless works of art, while the city's cathedrals and palaces also have priceless items. You may visit the Boboli Gardens, the studios and workshops of local artists in the Altrano, and the leather stores of Santa Croce before you overdo it at the Uffizi Gallery and Pitti Palace. Lake Como. Ever since ancient Romans escaped Milan's summer heat to cool down in villas along its steep slopes, Italy's most beautiful lake, Lake Como, has been a favored summer hideaway of the affluent and famous. Villas built in the Renaissance and Baroque periods embellish the lake's densely packed villages, particularly the picturesque Bellagio, which sits on a point where the lake's 3 narrow arms converge. The western coast of Como is warmer than the rest of the lake year-round because of a microclimate, thus palm trees and camellias may be enjoyed year-round while gazing at the snowy Alps to the north. Before hopping on a steamboat to explore the lake, make sure to stop through Como, located on the southern side. Milan. Because of its airport, Milan is a popular starting point for visitors to Italy, but the city is sometimes ignored as a destination in its own right. For those interested in design and fashion, a visit to Milan is a must since it offers one of the largest concentrations of creative and architectural attractions in all of Italy. Artists, composers, performers, and designers as varied as Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Giuseppe Verdi, Enrico Caruso, Arturo Toscanini, and Giorgio Armani have all called Milan home. The huge Cathedral of Milan, known as Il Duomo, is often regarded as the greatest surviving example of flamboyant Gothic architecture. The world-famous opera theatre La Scala is here, as is Da Vinci's The Last Supper filling a wall in a monastery, and the city's many museums and palaces have works by some of the greatest artists in history. And no self-respecting fashionista would dare to miss a walk through the historic Quadrilatero. Amalfi Coast. Just south of Naples, on the southern margin of Naples Bay, is the steep and precipitous Amalfi Peninsula. The villages that cling to its vertiginous slopes have a backdrop that is both stunning and improbable. Most of the streets in these charming villages are really staircases, and the buildings appear to be permanently attached to the cliffs behind them. Flowers abound, and settlements sit on rocky outcrops that drop precipitously to beaches tucked into nooks of green sea. Ravello, perched on a cliff above the ocean, offers some of the best views along the whole coastline, which are framed by the town's lush gardens. One of the most beautiful drives in the world is down the southern coast, the Amalfi Drive. Those interested in seeing the coast from the ocean may do so in about 45 minutes by taking the boat from Sorrento to Positano. Capri and Sorrento. Only 20 kilometers from Sorrento, the legendary Isle of Capri rises in rugged cliffs from the Tyrrhenian Sea. There are regular ferries and hydrofoils from Sorrento and Naples, and the island is visited by many people every year. Although it is just 6 kilometers long at its longest, the island of Capri has not one but two inhabited settlements, the capital of Capri and the village of Anacapri, perched high above. You may discover trendy boutiques and cafes in the lower town, where hordes of tourists gather to people-watch in the hopes of seeing a famous face. The beautiful grounds and Villa San Michele may be found at Anacapri. The Blue Grotto is a vast flooded grotto on the island of Capri, where sunlight reflected off the water creates the illusion that it is lighted from inside. Marina Piccola, located on the other side of the island, is a stunning little beach at the base of the cliffs defended by the rugged Faraglioni sea stacks. The Cinque Terre. Tunneling through the headlands that divide them, the railway joined the 5 communities clinging to the high, rocky Mediterranean coast north of La Spezia, making them accessible by land for the first time. Even though most visitors are here to hike, don't miss out on the charm of these little towns. Despite its recent popularity among visitors, the Cinque Terre remains one of Italy's most alluring sights, especially the towns of Riomaggiore and Vernazza, with their winding alleys that descend down to small rock-bound ports. Pisa and Lucca. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is really the campanile for the church next door, is a famous Italian landmark and the focal point of a UNESCO World Heritage Site that also includes the cathedral, the baptistry, and the Campo Santo. Lucca is a short distance away and is often considered to be one of the most beautiful and enjoyable cities in all of Europe. Romanesque and Tuscan Gothic churches, tower residences, one of which you may climb to the top of, and a Roman arena that has been fossilized into an oval plaza can all be seen inside the city's walls. Tuscan hill towns. Stone cities built on Etruscan foundations dot the rolling hills of Tuscany. Each one enjoys its perch on a hill and many of the fortifications that formerly protected them still stand. It's hard to choose a favorite since each one is unique in its construction, decoration, artwork, and history. San Gimignano, with its many towers and well-preserved city walls, remains almost unchanged from the Middle Ages when it served as a crucial halt on the way to Rome for pilgrims.